You Are Richer Than You Think, written and published by Rich Audiobooks. You've been looking for wealth in the wrong places, because the truth is, you're already richer than you think. You Are Richer Than You Think is a journey back to the abundance that's been with you all along, in your mindset, your gifts, your opportunities, and your unseen potential. While the world measures wealth in dollars, this book reveals the inner riches of clarity, creativity, courage that attract lasting success. So the real question isn't how to get rich, it's how much of your richness have you been ignoring? The shift begins when you finally see what you already have and build from there. Lesson 1. You have more options than you did last year. Take a moment to reflect on where you stood exactly 1 year ago. Consider the choices available to you then versus now. While it might not be immediately apparent, your world has likely expanded in ways both subtle and significant. Perhaps you've learned new skills, met interesting people, or discovered opportunities you hadn't previously considered. This expansion of options is a form of wealth that often goes unrecognized. Many people focus solely on financial metrics when measuring progress, overlooking the growing collection of possibilities at their disposal. Each new connection you've made, each skill you've developed, and each insight you've gained has created additional pathways forward. These options represent a form of currency that's more valuable than money alone. They represent freedom, flexibility, and potential. Think about your professional life. Maybe you've gained expertise that makes you more valuable to your current employer or more attractive to potential ones. Perhaps you've started a side project that could evolve into something more significant, or you've discovered new ways to leverage your existing knowledge. Each of these developments represents an option that didn't exist in your portfolio last year. Your personal life likely holds even more examples of this growth. New friendships may have opened doors to different social circles or opportunities. Travel experiences might have broadened your perspective on what's possible. Even challenges you faced have probably taught you valuable lessons about your resilience and capabilities, creating new options for handling future difficulties. The beauty of accumulating options lies in their compound effect. Each new possibility tends to create others, forming a network of opportunities that grows exponentially. A single new skill might lead to 3 new potential career paths. One meaningful connection might introduce you to 5 other valuable contacts. This multiplication of possibilities creates a form of wealth that's both practical and empowering. Consider also the internal options you've developed. Perhaps you've grown more confident in expressing your opinions, more skilled at managing your emotions, or more adept at making decisions. These psychological options are just as valuable as external ones, often more so. They affect every aspect of your life and influence how effectively you can leverage other opportunities. This expansion of options isn't always comfortable. Growth often requires stepping into uncertainty and facing the unknown. But that discomfort itself is evidence of your progress. You're pushing beyond familiar boundaries and creating new possibilities. Each time you embrace discomfort for the sake of growth, you're investing in your future options. Looking forward, the key is to maintain awareness of this expanding landscape of possibilities. Start noticing the new options that emerge each day, week, and month. Actively cultivate them by continuing to learn, connect, and push your boundaries. Each small step forward creates ripples of opportunity that extend far beyond the immediate moment. Your growing collection of options is a clear sign that you're winning at the game of life. It indicates that you're not standing still, but constantly evolving and expanding your potential. This form of wealth, the wealth of possibilities, is something that can't be taken away from you. It's a foundation upon which you can build whatever future you choose to create. Lesson 2. You control your schedule. Time is the great equalizer. We all get the same 24 hours each day. Yet the ability to control how we spend those hours represents one of life's most precious forms of wealth. When you control your schedule, you possess a freedom that many people, regardless of their financial status, never achieve. Think about the last time you woke up naturally, without an alarm, or when you decided to take a Wednesday afternoon off simply because you wanted to. These moments of autonomy aren't just pleasant conveniences. They're expressions of a profound form of prosperity. Schedule control means you've graduated from trading time for money to investing time in what truly matters to you. Many people live at the mercy of their calendars, constantly reacting to others' demands and priorities. Their days are filled with meetings they didn't choose, commitments they reluctantly accepted, and obligations that drain their energy. But you've begun to shift this dynamic. You've learned to guard your time with the same vigilance you apply to your bank account, understanding that every yes to others' priorities is a no to your own. This control didn't happen by accident. You've likely developed systems to protect your time, whether it's blocking out focused work periods, establishing clear boundaries with colleagues and family, or creating routines that serve your goals rather than someone else's agenda. These aren't just productivity hacks, they're manifestations of your growing wealth in terms of temporal autonomy. The ability to control your schedule also reflects a deeper truth about your professional evolution. Perhaps you've developed skills valuable enough that others must work around your availability, or you've built a business that allows you to set your own hours. Maybe you've simply gained the confidence to decline commitments that don't align with your priorities. Each of these achievements represents a form of wealth that goes beyond monetary measurement. Consider how this control ripples through every aspect of your life. When you can attend your child's school events without begging for permission, take a fitness class during traditional work hours, or pursue a passion project during your peak creative time, you're experiencing a richness that many executives with seven-figure salaries still haven't achieved. This form of wealth also manifests in your ability to respond to opportunities and challenges on your own terms. When an exciting project appears, you can reorganize your schedule to pursue it. When you need rest or reflection, you can create space for it. This flexibility isn't just convenient, it's a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. Your schedule control might not be perfect, yet few people achieve complete autonomy over their time. But if you're making conscious choices about how you spend your hours, if you're gradually reducing the number of have-to appointments in favor of want-to activities, you're already wealthy in ways that matter deeply. You're building a life that responds to your rhythms and priorities rather than being perpetually shaped by external demands. Controlling your schedule isn't about having endless free time or never having commitments. It's about having the authority to choose those commitments intentionally, to design your days in alignment with your values and goals. This autonomy, this ability to be the primary author of how you spend your time, is a form of wealth that appreciates as you exercise it more consciously. Lesson 3. You sleep peacefully at night. A peaceful night's sleep is perhaps the most underrated measure of true wealth. While society often focuses on material possessions and financial metrics, the ability to rest your head on your pillow and drift into untroubled sleep speaks volumes about your life's genuine prosperity. When you sleep peacefully at night, it indicates that you've achieved a remarkable level of alignment between your actions and your values. This harmony isn't accidental. It's the result of living authentically and making decisions that honor your principles. Those who lie awake, tortured by guilt or anxiety, often do so because they're operating in opposition to their core beliefs or living beyond their means, both financially and emotionally. The quality of your sleep reflects the quality of your choices during waking hours. When you conduct your affairs with integrity, treat others with respect, and manage your resources responsibly, you create a foundation for tranquil rest. This peace of mind comes from knowing that you've done right by others and yourself, that your decisions can withstand scrutiny, and that you're prepared for tomorrow's challenges. Financial stability plays a crucial role in peaceful sleep, but not in the way most people imagine. It's not about having vast wealth. It's about living within your means and maintaining honest relationships with money. Many wealthy people toss and turn at night, while those with modest means who practice financial mindfulness rest easily. The key lies in understanding and accepting your financial reality while taking measured steps to improve it. Your ability to sleep well also indicates emotional intelligence and resilience. When you can process daily challenges without letting them consume your thoughts, when you can separate urgent from important, and when you can maintain perspective in the face of adversity, you've developed a psychological wealth that many never achieve. This emotional maturity allows you to put the day's events in their proper place and approach rest with a calm mind. The relationship between peaceful sleep and personal growth cannot be overstated. Quality rest enables clear thinking, better decision-making, and more effective problem-solving. This creates a positive cycle. Good decisions lead to peaceful sleep, which leads to better decisions, and so on. When you sleep well, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges and seize opportunities, contributing to your overall success and well-being. Consider those who rely on sleep aids or alcohol to find rest. Their troubled sleep often points to deeper issues, unresolved conflicts, suppressed emotions, or misaligned life choices. In contrast, natural, peaceful sleep suggests an underlying contentment with life's direction and a fundamental trust in one's path forward. The wealth of peaceful sleep extends beyond personal benefits. It enriches your relationships and professional life. When you're well rested, you're more patient, creative, and present for others. You're better equipped to navigate complex social situations and maintain emotional balance in challenging circumstances. This emotional stability becomes a form of social currency, making you a more valuable friend, partner, and colleague. Your ability to sleep peacefully at night is a testament to the life you've built and the person you've become. It reflects wisdom in choosing your battles, courage in facing your challenges, and authenticity in living your values. This form of wealth, while invisible to others, provides a foundation for all other forms of success and satisfaction in life. Lesson 4. You say no without guilt. The ability to say no without guilt is perhaps one of the most powerful indicators of true wealth, not just financial wealth, but wealth of character, self-worth, and emotional maturity. It's a skill that many of us struggle to develop, yet it's essential for protecting our most valuable resources, our time, energy, and peace of mind. Think about the last time you said yes when you really wanted to say no. Maybe it was an extra project at work, a social obligation you dreaded, or a favor that stretched you too thin. That moment of acquiescence might have seemed easier in the short term, but it came with hidden costs, resentment, stress, and the opportunity cost of what you could have done instead. The wealthy person isn't the one who says yes to everything, it's the one who knows their value and protects it fiercely. When you can decline opportunities, invitations, or requests without the weight of guilt pressing down on your shoulders, you demonstrate a profound understanding of your worth. This isn't about being selfish, it's about being selective. It's about recognizing that every yes you give to something that doesn't align with your values or priorities is a no to something that does. Consider the mathematics of your energy. You start each day with a finite amount, and every commitment, every obligation, every task draws from that limited reserve. The ability to say no is your energy's guardian, protecting your resources for the things that truly matter. When you say no to the coffee meeting that won't advance your goals, you're saying yes to focused work time. When you decline the committee position that doesn't excite you, you're preserving energy for projects that do. The guilt-free no is built on a foundation of self-respect and clear boundaries. It's understanding that you don't owe anyone an elaborate explanation or apology for protecting your time and energy. A simple, direct, "I won't be able to take that on," becomes as natural as breathing. This directness isn't rude, it's respectful of both your time and the other person. Your relationship with no often reflects your relationship with yourself. Those who struggle to say it often carry beliefs about their worth being tied to their usefulness to others. But true wealth includes the understanding that your value isn't determined by how many requests you fulfill or how many people you please. It's determined by how well you honor your own boundaries and pursue your own path. The power of a guilt-free no extends beyond personal boundaries. It shapes how others view and treat you. When you consistently and confidently decline what doesn't serve you, you teach others to respect your boundaries. You signal that your time and energy are valuable resources that aren't freely available to anyone who asks. This commanding of respect is a form of wealth that appreciates over time. Practice makes the guilt-free no easier. Start small. Decline a minor request that you would typically accept out of obligation. Notice how the world doesn't end. Observe how respect often increases when you demonstrate self-respect. Watch how your energy levels improve when you stop overcommitting. The wealthy person knows that saying no isn't just about declining, it's about making space for the right yes opportunities. The goal isn't to say no to everything. The goal is to say no to anything that doesn't align with your values, advance your goals, or bring you genuine joy. When you master this skill, you'll find yourself with more energy, better relationships, and a deeper sense of personal power. That's a form of wealth that no bank account can match. Lesson 5. You invest more than you spend. Most people think of investing solely in terms of stocks, bonds, and real estate, but true wealth builders understand that investment extends far beyond financial instruments. The mindset of investing versus spending transforms every resource at your disposal, time, energy, relationships, and yes, money, into potential assets that appreciate over time. Consider how you approach a typical weekend. While others might spend their hours mindlessly scrolling through social media or binge-watching shows, investors use portions of that time to learn new skills, deepen relationships, or create something meaningful. They recognize that every hour can either be spent like currency that disappears forever or invested like seed capital that grows and multiplies. This investment mentality extends to how we handle our energy. Instead of depleting ourselves on activities that leave us drained, we can strategically invest our vitality into projects and relationships that energize us and create future opportunities. A morning routine that includes exercise, meditation, or creative work might require more initial effort than sleeping in, but it yields compounding returns in health, clarity, and productivity. The same principle applies to our attention, perhaps our most precious resource in today's distraction-rich world. When you consciously direct your focus toward learning, problem-solving, or building valuable relationships, you're investing your attention rather than spending it on fleeting entertainment or reactive busywork. This intentional allocation of attention develops into expertise, insights, and connections that become invaluable assets over time. Even in conventional financial terms, the habit of investing more than spending manifests in subtle ways. It's choosing to buy tools over toys, selecting experiences that build skills over purely recreational activities, and prioritizing assets that appreciate over depreciating luxury items. It's understanding that true wealth comes not from what you consume, but from what you create and cultivate. This mindset shift reveals itself in daily decisions. Instead of buying another outfit, you might invest in a course that teaches you a marketable skill. Rather than upgrading to the latest smartphone, you could put that money into starting a side business. The investor mindset asks, how can this resource multiply? While the consumer mindset asks, what can I get right now? The beauty of this approach is that it creates a self-reinforcing cycle. As you begin to see everything through the lens of investment potential, you naturally become more discerning about how you use your resources. You start recognizing opportunities for growth where others see only expenses. Your decisions become increasingly focused on long-term gratification. This doesn't mean never spending on enjoyment or leisure. That would be unsustainable and counterproductive. Instead, it's about maintaining a healthy ratio where your investment activities consistently outweigh pure consumption. When you do spend, it's with consciousness and intention, often in ways that support your larger investment strategy. Living this way requires patience and vision. It means being willing to delay immediate pleasures for future gains. But it also means experiencing the deep satisfaction of watching your various investments in yourself, your relationships, your skills, and your assets grow and compound over time. This comprehensive approach to investing creates a rich life that extends far beyond financial wealth, though financial abundance often follows naturally from these habits. The shift from predominantly spending to predominantly investing marks a crucial turning point in many people's journey to true wealth. It's a sign that you graduated from the passive consumption patterns that keep most people treading water to the active creation and cultivation that builds lasting prosperity. Lesson 6. You own your mistakes and your wins. True wealth isn't just about accumulating assets. It's about developing the emotional maturity to take full responsibility for both your successes and failures. When you reach the point where you can honestly own your mistakes without defensiveness and celebrate your wins without diminishing them, you've achieved a level of personal sovereignty that money can't buy. Taking ownership of your mistakes requires a fundamental shift in perspective. Instead of viewing failures as sources of shame or opportunities for self-flagellation, you begin to see them as valuable data points in your personal growth journey. This shift transforms mistakes from sources of stress into powerful catalysts for improvement. The wealthy mindset doesn't waste energy on blame or excuses. It channels that energy into learning and adaptation. This ownership mindset extends beyond just accepting responsibility. It means actively seeking out your role in every situation. When a project fails, you ask yourself what you could have done differently. When a relationship sours, you examine your contributions to the breakdown. This level of radical self-honesty might seem painful at first, but it's incredibly liberating. By owning your part in every outcome, you reclaim your power to influence future results. Equally important is owning your wins without deflection or false modesty. Many people have been conditioned to downplay their achievements, attributing their successes to luck or minimizing them to avoid appearing boastful. But true wealth includes the ability to stand firmly in your accomplishments. When you've worked hard, made smart decisions, and achieved something meaningful, acknowledging that success fully helps cement the behaviors and mindsets that created it. The ownership mindset also transforms your relationship with feedback. Instead of becoming defensive when others point out areas for improvement, you become genuinely curious. You start to view criticism as valuable intelligence rather than personal attacks. This shift makes you more approachable, more coachable, and ultimately more successful. People are drawn to those who can admit their mistakes and learn from them. Leadership naturally flows from this combination of accountability and confidence. When you own both your mistakes and wins, you create an environment where others feel safe to do the same. Your team members and colleagues observe how you handle both success and failure, and they begin to mirror that behavior. This creates a culture of growth, honesty, and continuous improvement. The financial implications of this mindset are significant. People who take ownership tend to make better investment decisions because they're willing to examine their mistakes objectively. They're more likely to course-correct quickly when strategies aren't working, rather than remaining stubbornly attached to failing approaches. They're also more likely to recognize and capitalize on their successes, doubling down on what works instead of second-guessing their wins. Perhaps most importantly, owning your mistakes and wins creates a foundation of self-trust. When you know you'll hold yourself accountable for your decisions, both good and bad, you become more confident in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. This self-trust is a form of wealth that appreciates over time, compounding with each honest self-assessment and each acknowledged achievement. The path to this kind of ownership isn't always comfortable, but it's invariably rewarding. It requires regular self-reflection, a willingness to face uncomfortable truths, and the courage to stand in your light when things go well. The reward is a kind of freedom that few experience. The freedom to be fully human, fully accountable, and fully celebrated for both your journey and your achievement. Lesson 7. You're surrounded by growth-minded people. Jim Rohn famously said we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with, but this principle extends far beyond simple arithmetic. The quality of your social circle serves as both a mirror reflecting your current position and a compass pointing toward your future trajectory. When you find yourself naturally gravitating toward people who challenge you to think bigger, dream more audaciously, and take bold action, you've reached a pivotal milestone in your personal wealth journey. Growth-minded people possess an infectious energy that elevates everyone in their orbit. They view challenges as opportunities, setbacks as learning experiences, and success as a natural byproduct of consistent effort. When you're surrounded by such people, you'll notice your own mindset shifting. Conversations become laboratories for new ideas. Casual meetups transform into mastermind sessions, and simple questions evolve into deep explorations of possibility. The wealth of supportive relationships manifests in countless ways. Your growth-minded circle becomes a personal board of advisors, offering perspectives you might have missed, challenging your assumptions, and celebrating your wins as if they were their own. These relationships create a safety net that encourages risk-taking and innovation, knowing you have a community that will catch you if you fall and help you bounce back stronger. Consider how your social circle influences your financial decisions, career moves, and personal development choices. Growth-minded friends naturally discuss books they're reading, courses they're taking, and investments they're considering. They share resources, make introductions, and create opportunities for collaboration. This environment of mutual growth and support becomes a catalyst for wealth creation in all its forms. Your relationship portfolio requires the same attention and intentional management as your financial portfolio. Just as you wouldn't randomly select stocks without research, your social connections deserve careful curation. This doesn't mean coldly calculating relationships based on utility, but rather being mindful of how each connection either energizes or depletes your personal growth trajectory. The process of upgrading your social environment often happens naturally as you evolve. As your interests shift toward growth and development, you'll find yourself drawn to spaces and activities where like-minded people gather. Whether it's joining professional organizations, attending workshops, or participating in mastermind groups, your network will organically expand to include those who share your commitment to continuous improvement. Sometimes, this evolution requires making difficult decisions about existing relationships. You might notice certain friendships or associations that no longer serve your growth journey. While it's not necessary to completely sever these ties, it's healthy to adjust the time and energy you invest in relationships that don't support your forward momentum. The presence of growth-minded people in your life creates a powerful feedback loop. Their success inspires you to reach higher, while your achievements motivate them to push further. This mutual elevation creates an environment where excellence becomes the standard, not the exception. You'll find yourself naturally setting bigger goals, taking more calculated risks, and expanding your definition of what's possible. This social wealth extends beyond immediate relationships to include the broader network of each connection. When you're surrounded by growth-minded people, you gain access to their networks as well, creating an exponential expansion of opportunities and resources. This compound effect of positive relationships becomes one of your most valuable assets, often leading to opportunities that money alone couldn't buy. Being surrounded by growth-minded people isn't about competition or comparison, but rather about mutual support and collective elevation. These relationships should feel energizing and inspiring, not draining or intimidating. When you find yourself in this kind of environment, you've discovered one of the clearest indicators that you're winning the game of life. Lesson 8. You have savings that aren't for emergencies. The concept of savings has traditionally been linked to preparation for the worst, medical emergencies, job loss, or unexpected repairs. While maintaining an emergency fund is crucial, having savings beyond these safety nets represents a profound shift in your financial and psychological well-being. These additional funds aren't just money in the bank, they're tokens of possibility, seeds of opportunity waiting to bloom. When you have savings that exist purely for seizing opportunities, you operate from a fundamentally different mindset. Rather than constantly scanning the horizon for potential threats, you begin looking for potential adventures, investments, and experiences that could enrich your life. This shift from defensive to offensive financial thinking marks a significant milestone in your wealth journey. These opportunity funds serve as your personal venture capital, ready to be deployed when the right moment arrives. Perhaps it's a chance to invest in a friend's promising startup, take a sabbatical to write that book you've always dreamed about, or relocate to a new city for a better quality of life. The mere existence of these funds changes how you view the world and your place in it. You begin to see opportunities where others see dead ends. The psychological impact of having opportunity capital extends far beyond the monetary value itself. It creates a sense of abundance that influences every aspect of your life. When you know you have resources set aside for growth and exploration, you approach challenges with creativity rather than fear. Your decision-making becomes more strategic and less reactive, allowing you to consider options that might have seemed out of reach before. This type of saving also reflects a sophisticated understanding of wealth building. While emergency funds protect your current position, opportunity savings propel you forward. They represent an acknowledgement that true wealth isn't just about maintaining what you have, it's about creating space for expansion, growth, and transformation. Every dollar in your opportunity fund is a vote for your future self, a testament to your belief that something remarkable lies ahead. Building these funds requires a different approach than traditional saving. Instead of focusing solely on cutting expenses or following conventional budgeting wisdom, you might need to explore additional income streams or reimagine your relationship with money altogether. This might mean developing a side business, investing in your skills to increase your earning potential, or finding creative ways to generate passive income. The presence of opportunity savings also changes your relationship with risk. When you have funds specifically designated for seizing opportunities, you can take calculated risks without jeopardizing your financial security. This separation between security and opportunity money allows you to be both prudent and adventurous, a combination that often leads to the most rewarding life experience. Perhaps most importantly, having savings beyond emergencies indicates that you've moved past survival mode and into a phase of life where growth and expansion are not just possible, but probable. It suggests that you've mastered the basics of financial management and are ready to play a bigger game. This transition from scarcity to abundance thinking is a clear sign that you're winning at the game of life. Your opportunity savings represent more than just money. They're a tangible expression of your faith in the future and your commitment to personal growth. They stand as proof that you're not just surviving, but preparing to thrive. In a world where many people live paycheck to paycheck, Having funds dedicated to opportunity puts you in a remarkable position to shape your destiny and create the life you envision. Lesson 9. You create before consuming. In a world designed to turn us into passive consumers, the ability to create before consuming stands as a powerful indicator of true wealth. This fundamental shift from consumption to creation marks the difference between those who shape their reality and those who merely experience it through others' visions. The modern economy thrives on convincing us that happiness lies in consumption, whether it's social media content, entertainment, products, or experiences. Yet the most fulfilled people have discovered a profound truth: the joy of creation far surpasses the temporary pleasure of consumption. When you wake up thinking about what you'll bring into existence rather than what you'll absorb or purchase, you've crossed a crucial threshold in personal wealth. Creating before consuming manifests in countless ways. Perhaps you write your thoughts in a journal before checking social media, or you develop your own workout routine instead of following someone else's program. Maybe you cook meals from scratch rather than ordering takeout, or you build furniture instead of buying mass-produced pieces. Each act of creation, no matter how small, strengthens your identity as a producer rather than just a consumer. This creator's mindset extends beyond tangible products. It shows up in how you approach relationships, where you actively contribute to conversations rather than waiting for others to entertain you. It appears in your work, where you propose solutions instead of waiting for assignments. It emerges in your leisure time, where you might choose to play an instrument rather than stream music, or write stories rather than binge-watching shows. The wealth in being a creator first lies not just in the potential monetary value of what you produce, but in the deep satisfaction and confidence that comes from bringing something new into existence. Creators naturally develop problem-solving skills, resilience, and resourcefulness that consumers rarely acquire. These qualities compound over time, leading to opportunities and capabilities that money alone cannot buy. This shift requires rethinking how we use our time and energy. It means carving out space for creation when it would be easier to fall into passive consumption. It might mean waking up earlier to work on your novel or dedicating weekend hours to developing your craft instead of scrolling through social media. The initial investment might feel costly, but the returns in personal growth, satisfaction, and often financial reward far outweigh the temporary comfort of consumption. Creating before consuming also changes your relationship with what you do consume. When you understand the effort behind creation, you become a more discerning consumer. You develop a deeper appreciation for others' creative works, and you're more likely to invest in quality over quantity. This heightened awareness leads to more intentional choices about how you spend both your time and money. The real power of being a creator first lies in its compounding effect. Each act of creation builds upon the last, developing skills, confidence, and resources that make future creation easier and more sophisticated. While consumption often leaves us empty and craving more, creation fills us up and generates momentum for future growth. It's a self-reinforcing cycle that builds genuine wealth, not just in terms of potential earnings, but in capability, influence, and personal satisfaction. Consider how different your life would be if you approached each day as a creator first. Imagine the wealth of skills, experiences, and opportunities you would accumulate over months and years of prioritizing creation over consumption. This isn't about never consuming, it's about shifting the balance, about making creation your default mode and consumption a choice rather than an automatic response. The choice to create before consuming represents a fundamental shift in how you engage with the world. It's a choice that distinguishes those who are truly wealthy in spirit and capability from those who remain trapped in the cycle of endless consumption. When you consistently choose creation over consumption, you're not just building things, you're building yourself into someone who shapes the world rather than merely inhabiting it. Lesson 10. You enjoy solitude and silence. The ability to be peacefully alone is perhaps one of the most overlooked indicators of genuine wealth. In a world that constantly demands our attention, celebrates extroversion, and fills every moment with noise, finding comfort in solitude has become a rare and valuable treasure. Those who have mastered the art of being alone have discovered an infinite source of renewal, creativity, and self-discovery that money simply cannot buy. Consider how many people fill their lives with constant stimulation: music playing in the background, television running endlessly, social media notifications buzzing, and an endless stream of podcasts during every commute or workout. This perpetual noise often serves as a distraction from uncomfortable thoughts or emotions, a shield against the vulnerability that silence might reveal. But those who have learned to embrace quiet moments understand that silence isn't empty, it's full of answers. The wealthy mind recognizes that solitude isn't loneliness, it's an opportunity for deep connection with oneself. This connection becomes the foundation for better relationships, clearer decision-making, and more authentic living. When you can sit comfortably with your thoughts, you develop an internal compass that guides you more reliably than any external validation ever could. You begin to hear your own wisdom above the collective noise of others' opinions and expectations. This comfort with solitude often develops alongside financial and emotional maturity. Just as a secure bank account provides peace of mind, the ability to enjoy your own company indicates a rich inner life that doesn't depend on external entertainment or validation. People who are truly winning at life don't need to fill every moment with activity or conversation. They understand the value of space and silence in cultivating clarity and purpose. The practice of embracing solitude yields dividends in unexpected ways. Creative insights emerge more freely when given room to surface. Problems that seemed insurmountable often resolve themselves during quiet reflection. Strategic thinking becomes sharper when not constantly interrupted by external input. The mind, like a glass of muddy water, needs stillness to become clear. Those who have mastered this aspect of wealth often develop rituals around their solitude. Whether it's early morning meditation, solo walks in nature, or dedicated time for reflection and journaling, these practices become non-negotiable investments in mental and emotional well-being. They understand that these moments of solitude aren't luxury items to be enjoyed only when time permits. They're essential elements of a rich life. This comfort with silence extends beyond personal moments of solitude. It manifests in the ability to sit in comfortable silence with others, to resist filling space with unnecessary words, and to listen more deeply in conversations. It shows up as patience in negotiations, wisdom in conflicts, and depth in relationships. The person who has mastered solitude brings a centered presence to every interaction, enriching not only their own experience, but also the experiences of those around them. The wealth of enjoying solitude and silence is particularly valuable in our current age of constant connectivity. While others feel compelled to respond immediately to every notification, those who appreciate solitude maintain healthy boundaries with technology. They understand that being constantly available often means being permanently distracted from what matters most. Their selective disconnection from the digital world allows for deeper connection with themselves and more meaningful engagement with others when they choose to connect. This form of wealth compounds over time. Each moment of peaceful solitude builds upon the last, creating an ever deeper well of inner resources to draw from. While others may feel increasingly scattered and depleted by the demands of modern life, those who cultivate comfort with solitude find themselves growing more centered, more insightful, and more at peace with each passing year. They've discovered that in the quiet moments they can hear the whispers of their truest ambitions and deepest wisdom. Lesson 11. You have skills no one can take. In a world of constant change and uncertainty, there exists a form of wealth that transcends market fluctuations and economic downturns: your skills. These aren't just the credentials listed on your resume or the certifications hanging on your wall. They're the deep, practical abilities you've developed through experience, failure, and persistent practice. Think about the skills you possess right now that were merely aspirations a few years ago. Perhaps you've mastered the art of public speaking, learned to code, developed emotional intelligence, or become proficient at negotiation. These skills represent a form of wealth that appreciates over time, unlike material possessions that depreciate the moment you acquire them. What's more remarkable is that these skills often combine in unique ways, creating a personal value proposition that's virtually impossible to replicate. The true power of skills lies in their permanence. While jobs can be lost, markets can crash, and circumstances can change, the abilities you've developed remain steadfastly yours. A musician doesn't lose their ability to play when their instrument is taken away. A writer doesn't forget how to craft stories when their laptop breaks down. A strategist doesn't lose their analytical capabilities when switching industries. These skills become part of your identity, woven into the fabric of who you are. Consider how your skills have created opportunities that money alone couldn't buy. Maybe your ability to listen deeply has built trust in relationships that others struggle to establish. Perhaps your problem-solving capabilities have opened doors that seemed permanently closed to others. These skills often generate compound returns. The stronger they become, and the more valuable they prove in diverse situations. Your skill set is also a form of anti-fragility. It doesn't just withstand stress, it grows stronger from it. Each challenge you face becomes an opportunity to refine and expand your capabilities. When you encounter obstacles, you're not just solving problems, you're building new neural pathways and expanding your repertoire of responses. This continuous growth process means your skill-based wealth is always appreciated. What's particularly powerful about skills is their transferability across contexts. The fundamental abilities that make you effective in one area often translate surprisingly well to others. Leadership skills developed in a community organization prove valuable in corporate settings. Creative problem-solving honed in artistic pursuits enhances innovation in business. The ability to learn quickly and adapt, perhaps the most valuable skill of all, serves you regardless of circumstance. Your skills also provide a unique form of security. While traditional forms of wealth can be taxed, stolen, or devalued, skills remain immune to such threats. They often become more valuable in times of uncertainty, as adaptability and capability become premium currencies. In a rapidly changing world, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn becomes increasingly precious. Most importantly, your skills represent freedom. They give you the confidence to take calculated risks, knowing you can always create value regardless of circumstances. They provide options when others see none, and they allow you to approach challenges with a sense of capability rather than fear. This psychological wealth, the knowledge that you can figure things out and create solutions, is perhaps the most valuable asset you possess. The next time you find yourself questioning your progress or comparing your wealth to others, remember the vast repository of skills you've accumulated. These aren't just tools for earning a living. They're the building blocks of a rich, adaptable, and meaningful life. Your skills are both your heritage and your legacy. They reflect everything you've learned and mastered while simultaneously serving as the foundation for everything you'll achieve next. Lesson 12. You're no longer chasing, only attracting. When you shift from pursuit to attraction, you've reached a profound milestone in your journey. This transformation isn't about becoming passive, it's about becoming magnetic. The energy you once spent chasing opportunities, relationships, and success now naturally draws these elements toward you, creating a self-sustaining cycle of growth and abundance. Think back to times when you pursued something intensely, perhaps a job, a relationship, or recognition. That desperate energy often pushed away the very things you wanted most. It's like trying to catch a butterfly. The harder you chase, the more elusive it becomes. But when you stay still and cultivate it, the butterfly may land right on your shoulder. This magnetic presence develops through consistent self-investment and authentic self-expression. You've built something valuable, whether it's expertise, character, or a body of work that naturally draws others to you. Clients seek you out rather than you hunting for them. Opportunities find their way to your inbox without you having to scroll through job boards. People want to connect with you because of who you are, not because you're networking with an agenda. The shift from chasing to attracting often coincides with a deeper sense of self-trust. You no longer feel compelled to prove your worth or convince others of your value. Instead, you focus on continual growth and improvement, knowing that the right opportunities and relationships will recognize and appreciate what you offer. This self-assured energy is incredibly attractive to others, creating a positive feedback loop that reinforces your natural magnetism. Consider how this principle manifests in your professional life. Rather than desperately pursuing every potential client or opportunity, you can thoughtfully choose which alignments serve your vision. This selectivity actually increases your perceived value and attracts even better opportunities. It's the difference between being the person who's always selling and the person others seek out for solutions. Your personal relationships reflect this same dynamic. Instead of trying to maintain connections that drain your energy, you naturally attract people who appreciate your authentic self. These relationships feel effortless because they're built on mutual respect and genuine connection rather than need or obligation. You've learned that the right people appreciate you for who you are, not who you pretend to be. This attractive force extends beyond external circumstances to your relationship with success itself. You've stopped chasing some idealized version of achievement and instead focused on creating value in your own unique way. This authenticity becomes your signature strength, drawing opportunities that specifically match your talents and vision. The beauty of this transition is how it conserves and multiplies your energy. When you're no longer exhausting yourself in pursuit, you have more resources to invest in your growth and creativity. This increased capacity further enhances your natural magnetism, creating an upward spiral of opportunity and fulfillment. Your ability to attract rather than chase represents a profound form of wealth that compounds over time without depleting your resources. It's the culmination of all the other signs we've explored in this book: your expanded options, your schedule control, your peaceful sleep, your boundary setting, your investments, your ownership, your growth-minded community, your opportunity savings, your creator mindset, your comfort with solitude, and your invaluable skills. Together, these elements have transformed you into someone who naturally attracts success, rather than someone who must chase it. Remember, this magnetic presence isn't about becoming passive or entitled. It's about being so aligned with your values and so consistent in your growth that the right opportunities naturally gravitate toward you. You've become the person who attracts what they want by being what they seek.